Yo, what's up? We got another video today. We're gonna be watching from Ray William Johnson from the top ropes. This fake psychic got exposed. Now, let's see about this fake psychic. Let's see why they call her fake and what she got exposed for. Do y'all like doing psychic readings and stuff like that? Do we have any psychics in the chat? Let's go ahead and check this video out. All right.
So this woman is supposedly psychic, but even she can't predict
Why's her
her
mouth
own
like that?
downfall. Now the woman's name is Gina, and
Why's her
Gina's
mouth
about
like that?
32 when this story starts. She's
Why
living
do
in
they make her
Florida,
look like an
and
ape?
Gina appears to really want to make
AW
money,
Powerline t-shirt.
even if she has
Why?
to scam
Hold on. Can
people.
I just say, Ray William Johnson? Why do your shirts be slapping in these videos, man? The Powerline t-shirt, the Jurassic Park t-shirt, the Star Wars t-shirts. W shirts, man.
People to get it. And one
W
day in the
shirts.
mid-2000s, she decides to become a fortune teller and a psychic, and she'll make money that way. And so she opens up a shop and she starts doing readings
All right.
for
Real quick.
clients who are mostly women. And the women, they're coming to her with all sorts of different problems.
Okay.
Problems with their careers, problems with their relationships, or
Okay.
whatever. And to her credit, her business seems to be doing really well. She's getting a
Okay.
lot of clients, and she becomes moderately well known in the area. In
Okay.
2006, she even writes
Is that
a
California?
memoir about being a psychic,
That's
and
Miami.
it gets published. Here's
Why
the
does it
thing with
have
all this, though. About being a
Guns and a knife, and
psychic, and it gets published.
Is
Here's the
Miami.
thing with all this, though. All of her psychic readings are obviously a scam. Like, she'll be giving these clients a reading or, like, telling their fortune or whatever, and she'll tell them that they've somehow, at some point, had some evil curse placed on them, and that's why bad things are happening to them. So, of course, the women are like, oh my god,
Oh,
a curse, what do I do? And Gina's like, here's what you do. And this is
You
gonna
give
sound like
me
I'm making it up,
some
but
money.
I promise you I'm not. Gina tells these women that the root of all evil is money. So what they need to do is take a bunch of their cash and put it inside a black pillowcase. Then they need to stuff that pillowcase under their mattress and sleep
Wow.
on it for a few days. If they do this, the energy from their bodies will transfer to the money. Then, once the energy is transferred to the cash, they just have to give that cash to Gina so that she can take it to her secret church and place it before the altar and perform like a ritual on it that cleanses the energy and breaks the curses.
Oh my gosh, this has to be the biggest grift. Oh my gosh, like don't get me wrong, I enjoy a lot of like spiritual practices and things like that. Like I like meditate and I do like yoga and tai chi and things like that. But like stuff like this. Stuff like this is so just predatory and just like gross that I'm just like, it makes me just like there's obviously the stuff like this exists, but it's people like her that make people believe that like all like spiritual like I guess like practices or whatever is mumbo jumbo and just like a grift, because there are some genuine people that will like teach you things and that will actually help you in your actual life. And this is not a part of that. This is a clear and obvious grift. So like, I don't know. She gives a bad rap to the spiritual community. That's all I'm saying. Not the spiritual community, but you know what I mean when I say that. Like the online spirituality that people go about. She's given a bad rap to all of that stuff. All of that stuff.
After that, Gina says she'll give the money back to them. Here's
Cat.
the problem with all
She's
that.
not
though.
giving the money back.
As you probably could have guessed, Gina doesn't give the money back. Instead, she pockets it. Oh, but it
course
doesn't
she
stop
does.
there. Then she comes back to these clients and she tells them that her spirit guides have come to her and they've been speaking with her and telling her that they just don't have enough energy to work with. So, if you could sleep with some more money under your pillow and bring it to
Wow.
me, that would really help these spirit guides out. And I guess some of
Demon.
these clients do. They're like, okay. And so Gina does these scams for
And you know who she's fooling too? She's fooling all the she's fooling all of the impressionable young women who like to look into the zodiac signs for guidance and things like that. That's who she's manipulating.
a few years, and she just
That's
keeps
why
conning.
I feel like, in my personal opinion, going too deep with deterministic and fatalistic things like that is an issue, because yeah, there are certain things that can be used to help you gain clarity on some things, or to look at things from a different point of view from wherever you're at in your life. There can genuinely be that for you. However, looking at something as fatalistic and deterministic, purely based on stuff that's already happened, that's way outside of your circumstances, the moon was aligned with this star on this day 12 years ago, so that means you're gonna have this. I'm just disregard everything you just said and just say the end part of it, and it'll have just the same weight. You know what I mean? Because deterministically, whatever aligned for that next step to happen could just be said, hey, on the basis of, oh, I believe that this is going to happen for you. And then discard the rest of the Jupiter lined up with Saturn on the third day of whatever. Just cut all that out, bro. Cut it out. Because that's not... that's too, it's too crazy for everybody to be saying this stuff and just being like, oh, yeah, I've seen the secrets in this and this and that, all this. Not everybody can be telling the truth, bro. If that is, the case, then I guarantee you it's not everybody that's saying it. It's, one or two people at max that, if that's actually the case, that can actually tell that. But hey.
Person after person after person. And now eventually we get into 2008. And that is when this guy comes into the story. His name's Bob, and Bob's a private investigator living in Florida as well. One night, Bob goes out to a local bar, and as a single guy, he meets two women there, and he starts chatting them up. And, he's probably trying to impress them, I'm a private investigator, I catch scammers. And he ends up giving them his number in case they want to smash or whatever.
Oh
Later,
my.
one of those women ends up calling him and saying, actually, I was scammed out of $12,000. Can you help? And it turns out that at one point, this woman had been scammed by Gina.
Yep.
And so Bob's like, hell yeah! And he starts looking into it. And he sees that Gina is a psychic, but she's not just any psychic. She's locally famous, and, she's published a book and all that. And he can see that she's living a lavish life.
I don't understand how you can willingly mislead people. And well, actually, I can't understand it. You just have to be morally bankrupt in a lot of areas. But willingly misleading people, knowingly misleading people, to potentially their detriment is just super predatory, especially when they're looking for you for guidance. They're looking to you to be someone that's supposed to help them in their life at this point, and you're just telling them bullshit, knowing you're telling them bullshit. Yikes. It's different if you're actually telling them helpful things, useful things that can actually help them, and you have positive intentions behind it. But when you're knowingly just spouting bullshit that isn't the case, I got nothing to say for you, bro. I got nothing to say for you.
Style and buying herself luxury things, driving around in nice new cars, going out to fancy restaurants all the time, owning several homes. And so Bob's like, oh yeah, she's a scammer. And so he starts investigating, and he tracks down 4 more victims of Gina's scams. And
Yeah,
collectively,
send
they
her
had been
to
scammed
jail.
out of
Take all her money, yo,
65,000.
low key. Yo, here's what I would suggest, right? I would be like, okay, grab her up, throw her in jail, find out how many dependents she has, right? Take all her money, distribute some of that money to her dependents, and then take the rest of it and distribute it back to the people that she scammed.
And so he gets charges brought against her, which leads to even more victims coming forward, and bam, she gets arrested. Here's one of her mugshots. And so
Get her
she's
outta
found
here,
guilty,
bro.
and she gets sentenced to probation, and she has to pay her victims back. Plus, she's no longer allowed to do psychic
She did
readings for
close.
people.
Okay, she had to
You're
pay him
banned
back,
from
yeah.
being psychic, I guess, was what the judge said.
Banned
But of
from
course,
being
pretty
psychic.
quickly, she gets caught scamming more people. She
Of
scammed
course she
like
does.
$300,000 total this time. And
Again.
this violates her probation, so bam, she gets arrested
Arrested. Get her outta
again.
here, bro.
Here's one of her other mugshots. But this time, she
Demons.
gets sentenced to 18 months in prison. However, this is actually where things get worse. Because
Worse?
Gina,
How?
she can't just suddenly stop grifting, because
does it
then
get
she'd
worse?
have to admit that she's not really a psychic, and what fun would that be? And so she eventually gets out, and she wants to keep scamming. But she can't do it in Florida, because that's where Bob is, and he might be monitoring her,
Yeah,
waiting
Bob's
for her to
on
slip
her.
up again.
Bob
So
said,
in
"I'm on them
2015, she decides to
cheeks."
grift somewhere else, and she moves from Florida all the way up to Maryland. Once she's in Maryland, she changes her name and she opens up her psychic fortune-telling business under her new name,
Readings by Natalie. It's crazy.
And here, not only is she giving people magic tarot card readings or whatever, but this time she's updated her playbook to keep up with the times. On top of her put the money in a black pillowcase scheme, she starts using technology to con her clients. Like, she'll
What does
tell a
she say?
client that an ex-boyfriend of theirs will call them at a specific time, but that they must not answer the phone. And then Gina will use technology to spoof the ex-boyfriend's number, and she'll call the client. And so the client will be like, oh my God, they did call, you're so psychic. And so it seems like
Whoa.
Gina is just gonna keep conning
Just
people for
yapping,
as
bruh.
long as she
See, man, that's so, man. Why are we abusing people that want to believe in something, man? I hate that. Because, like, they just want to believe in something. They just want to believe that, like, that their life is going to get better, you know what I mean? They just want to believe. They want to have that faith that things are going to get better. And she just takes that faith and abuses them to the utmost degree. And that, to me, is so crazy. I don't like that stuff, man.
can, as long as she can find people to fall for it.
Let's go get her out of here.
Until she finally scams the wrong person. Because one day, around 2016,
2016,
a
what
woman
happens?
comes to Gina's business to
What
get
happens?
a tarot card reading. Because I guess she just gone through a breakup, and she thinks this is somehow gonna help her get her ex-boyfriend back.
Okay,
And
let's
so
see
Gina's scamming ass is like, yeah, I can help you. And she tells her to
For
pay her
8K.
$1,500 and that she will use her psychic abilities to reunite her with her ex. And so the woman pays her. And Gina has her do all kinds of weird psychic hocus pocus. She has her light candles and cover her body with dye, bathe herself in magic oils, and like recite prayers and nonsense. And even after doing all that, surprise, surprise, the woman's ex still doesn't get back with her. And so this woman comes to Gina, and Gina tells her that her spirit guides need to be convinced that she's serious about getting back with her ex, and therefore this woman needs to pay her even more money.
my God.
And of course, this is where Gina pulls her hide the money in a black pillowcase trick and sleep on it to like boost the magic energy or whatever bullshit. And this poor woman is so desperate that she does it. Now, eventually, the woman runs out of funds and she starts maxing out credit cards. And over a bunch of sessions, this
Whoa,
woman
putting
paid.
herself in financial ruin for this is crazy, bro. What is going on, bro? She is her ex is low key right though. She is too gullible. Low key, her ex is right. I'm not gonna lie to you. Financial ruin over this nonsense, bro. Over this nonsense. Look, if you're gonna put yourself in financial ruin, if you're gonna take out all that debt, don't take out all that debt and give that money to a fortune teller. Go take that money and put it into something that you believe in. not that, not believing in someone else, but like put it into yourself. Put it into like an investment in yourself, into your either you're like educating yourself in a skill that you can use to like get money or educate or like invest it into some stocks or something, companies you believe in, invest it into freaking like bro, invest, start a business, do something, bro. Like invest it into like some friends or family members' business. Do something, bro. Anything but this, bro. Why are we dumping all our funds into random bullshit? So crazy. And then the same girl whole time will get on Instagram and talk about how trash men are for not taking her. But hey, that's a whole other story, bro. Same. This is ridiculousness.
Gina
Foolishness.
$82,000.
Oh my gosh.
Gina even convinces her to buy designer purses on credit and to bring those purses to her so that she can cleanse
Designer
them on the
purses.
altar at her secret church, which, you know, is bullshit. You know, she's just gonna, like, keep these
for this
purses.
stuff, bro. I feel so bad for them, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, I guess I can feel bad because I'm just like, some people are just so unaware, bro. Like, I can't even really be upset at them. I can only feel bad for them because it's just like, you don't know what you don't know, right? If you're just like really naive, you're just really gullible, you're just like in a hopeless state and you're just trying to cling on to any sort of hope you can get, I get it, right? I can never be mad at that. Fool me once, shame on you, right? But don't let it happen again. Please don't let it happen again, bro. Please, I don't want to see that out of you.
Now, this woman isn't the only woman Gina has scammed in Maryland. She's conned quite a few people out of a total of $341,000. So it's quite a few people in Maryland. Now, eventually, one of these women she scams hears about Bob and how he's a private investigator who has busted Gina before.
Okay.
So this woman hits him up, and Bob learns that Gina is still out there pretending to be psychic, running her scheme, just under a different name now. And so he contacts local police. And ultimately, they track her down, and so, bam. Gina is arrested.
There we go.
Here's some footage of her actually getting stopped by police.
Yeah,
and here's another one of her mugshots.
She got plastic
And ultimately, she
surgery,
ends up
didn't she?
taking a plea deal, and she gets
With all that
sentenced
money?
to 6 years in prison.
Yeah, with all that money, she went and got, what's it called? She went and
So
got
this guy's
a,
gonna launch himself into space in
plastic
a
surgery probably or something. That's what she looked like, a plastic surgery demon. Like the way her face was shaped. I know that's crazy to say, but like plastic surgery is not inherently a bad thing, but it's like you can tell when a certain type of person does it. They're just like a plastic surgery demon. Like she's a plastic surgery demon. Like she looks like the inside's ugly, so she had to use the plastic surgery to mute the outside, but you can tell the demon from the inside, and it still shows up on the outside. That's what I mean by like plastic surgery demons. But okay, we got another video. Did I leave a comment on that one? I don't think I left a comment on this one. We'll do this one then. W video. Because I know it's going to be a W video. If it's not, I'll delete the comment. I'll take my W back if it's not a good video. Yo, we got 3 subscribers now. Let's go. We're strong. Woo, we're strong in the community right now, boy. Put some commas on that later. All right. He found 2 million buried in the mountains, bro. How did he find that much in the mountains? I don't know. We better find out. Okay. Yeah, let's get it.
So there's a treasure chest worth about $2 million buried somewhere in the mountains. And about 3...
Actually, hold on. We might just cut this into a separate video. I'm not going to lie. It's about 20 minutes long. We can cut it into a separate video. I'll keep it a buck. So with that being said, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll catch you right back in the next one. I'm going to probably make a bagel real quick. Get a little bit of food in the system. Bye.